Hey, and welcome to another episode of the Influential Nonprofit. I'm your host, Maryanne. Many of you are probably creating or have created a strategic plan for the year. Strategic plans are fine, they're great. I'm not going to talk today about the elements of a plan because that's easy enough info to find out. You probably have a format already. What I'm going to talk about are the big lies of strategic planning. These are the things that beliefs that we think a plan will do for us that it actually won't do. Why? Because it is not the strategy that's your problem. It's your feelings. What's keeping you from achieving is not that you don't have the right strategy in place. It's your feelings about the actions that you have set forth to take in this plan. Are you with me? Hold on. I'm going to explain everything. But remember, it's not the strategy isn't the problem. It's your feelings that are the problem, not the problem. I don't want to say that. Feelings are always valid. It's your feelings are what we really need to focus on in order to achieve what we want. Why is this important and why am I focusing on this? Because my work as an influence coach, as teaching people how to move and motivate others, how to enroll others in a vision, how to get people to say yes to what you want is about, it's not about strategy. It's about understanding how our thoughts and feelings contribute to our everyday decision making. We want it to be about strategy because that's an easier answer, right? If we just had this goal and we had this in plan, then everything would be okay. Or if I just try to figure it all out, everything's going to be okay or it'll all happen. And it doesn't, right? And because it's not the strategy, that's the problem. It's how we feel about the work that we're doing. So I'm going to really go through some of kind of the biggest lies I see about strategic planning and how to refocus your thinking. If you already have a plan, I'd love for you to listen to this and go back and reassess what you have. If you don't have a plan, this is a great time for you to kind of download this information and then use this as you create your plan. Okay, big lie number one. Plans bring certainty. In our world, we have a great need for certainty and control. We want to know what's coming, and we get very afraid if we don't understand what's coming. I get it. And also, I think we learned, especially in the last 5 years, can you believe it's been 5 years since COVID? That is so crazy. Um, I'm really having a hard time wrapping my brain around that. Anyway, we have no certainty or control. And the more we want those things, the more opportunities there are us to feel uncertain and out of control. Now, I know that sounds a little wonky, but let me explain it. When you put anything on a pedestal, in this case, certainty, I want certainty above all. I need a lot of certainty. Any little certain thing, that uncertainty that comes across your way, is going to knock that certainty off a pedestal. And what's it going to give you? Major uncertainty. So the more you need certainty, the more you rely on that, the more opportunities there are for you to feel uncertain and feel like things are out of control. I know. It's not right. Let that sink in. The more you need certainty and control, the more out of control and uncertain you'll actually feel. That I know. Trust me, because again, there's more opportunities for you to feel uncertain. If you need everything to go a certain way and it doesn't go that way, you get upset. You're going to be very upset a lot of the time, right? And so people who need a lot of certainty and control tend to be like more high-strung people. They tend to be very cautious and they tend to like always are thinking the worst case scenario, and that can weigh you down. And so we think if we have a plan that we're going to create certainty and we're going to have control over the outcomes. And that is not true. And so we think a plan is going to lead us to certainty, but actually the goal here is to live with uncertainty, to understand that we don't know what's coming and it's okay because you will adapt. We learned in 2020 When our world changed almost overnight, we all adapted. We had to cancel our galas, but we figured it out. We did online stuff. Actually, in some of those situations, when things get out of control, quote unquote, some of the coolest, funnest problem solving comes forward. We don't know what's going to happen. We're putting our best guess forward. Every strategic plan is really a bet, right? It's a bet. I'm betting on this, and it may pay off, it may not. But I know that whatever happens, it's okay. One of the things that, when my coaches work with me on is not it's going to be okay. It is already okay. I am okay. In this moment, I am okay. Right? Because this moment is really all that exists. Our past is a memory, our future is unknown. This is really the only moment. And if you struggle with like uncertainty and of like needing certainty and control, because that's past regrets or future worries that clog our brain, one of the easiest things you can do is just bring it back to the present. I am okay. This is all happening for me, not to me. I am okay. And I have trust and faith in myself, in my team, in my community to support me if something happens. Like those kind of mantras can really shift you and really help you. I, in 2018, I started a business. I decided, hey, I'm going to do this business. I didn't really know what was going to happen. Anything big, brave, or bold is going to scare us and it's going to come with uncertainty. So if you're not doing stuff that scares the crap out of you, you're not really doing anything. We're here to change lives, to change the world. We're here to shake it up and undo all the destruction that's been done. That's scary. So if you're not creating a plan that scares you, then you're not creating a plan. If you're creating a plan that's going to make you feel certain you can achieve it, you're just going to be on a gerbil wheel every year. You're not going to grow. So I don't want to get too ahead of myself there. Big lie number one, plans create certainty. There is no such thing as certainty control. And the more that we learn to release the outcome, to live in the moment. Yes, I have a goal for my future. And also, I'm going to trust the process. Trust that things may not come to me exactly the way we intended in this plan. What do they say? A plan, a a a, the plan, a battle plan never survives contact with the enemy, right? Like it's very masculine. Like a battle plan never survives contact with the enemy. The plan is never going to go like you planned, and that's okay because things are going to happen the way they're going to happen. One of the things I talk about a lot is you don't get to say who or when. That's the universe's job. The universe tells you who's coming and when they're coming. All you can do is be open and ready to receive. Okay, plan number two. Big lie number two, plans ensure success. So this kind of goes along with number one, which plans bring certainty. But we think, okay, if we have a plan, we will be successful. What tends to happen, and you can decide for yourself if this is true for you or not, is that we want a plan that we can achieve because we want to look good for the board or we want to look good for the director. So we want a plan that we're pretty sure that we can achieve. So we tend to, because we want to ensure success, we tend to dial down our objectives and our goals. Goals will often bring tension and resistance because if my job is based on my ability to meet a goal, you like the success of my job, I'm going to want that goal as low as possible to ensure my chances for success. Someone above me, a board member, an executive director, might say, your team leader might say, let's make this goal really high to challenge you, because if we make it high, then that'll push you into success. Neither one is really true, but it creates resentment because the higher ups can resent you for wanting to go low. And then you can, or the ED or the person who is in charge of actually achieving that goal can be resentful because they think they're being pushed into something that they may not have the resources, the time, or the ability to actually achieve. because if my job is based on that goal, plans do not ensure success. How you move through your fears, how you tackle the biggest challenges you have will ensure success. What ensures success is to do something that scares you every single day. What ensures success is to up level your skills, which I can totally help you with, build better relationships. What ensures your success is about stepping into your discomfort, doing things that challenge you, and helping others do the same. Because if we're comfortable all the time, we're not really moving the needle. We're just spinning the wheel. There's a lot of metaphors flying around in this broadcast today. Plans don't ensure success. Your ability to navigate resistance, to step into discomfort, to do big, bold, crazy things, to create big, hairy, audacious goals will make you successful. Whether you meet them or not doesn't matter. It's that you pushed yourself to try. So if you are a person that's in charge of setting goals for other people, I really encourage you to rethink this and say, let's just try it and see. And I will do everything I can, and you do everything you can. And if we make it great, if not, we'll learn together. That's how you manage a goal. Okay, big line number 3. Plans help us tackle major issues. So here could be like that's a kind of a story we tell is plans will help us tackle some big problems that we're having if we have a plan. Let me give you an example. This was a couple years ago. I was hired to facilitate a board meeting of a coalition. So this was a group of people who were all in the same industry, who are different nonprofits in the same industry who had a coalition that was doing some um like bigger picture policy advocacy work. And they said, we don't trust each other. We want you to help us make a plan. Because if we had a plan, we could solve this issue of trust. Okay. And I see this a lot. And if this rings true for you, I'm glad you're here for me to reframe this for you. Nothing is going to solve a plan will not solve a problem. A plan will not tackle a major issue. If your major issue is maybe our team doesn't trust each other, or we don't get along, or there's a lot of siloed operations going on, um, like all of those, or, like maybe that's a big issue you want to tackle. A plan will not do that. Okay. A plan can set the priority to do that, maybe give you some budget to do that, but it won't do that. In this case, a 2-year, they wanted a 5-year plan. No, a 2-year plan to solve their trust issues. Look, maybe we could do that. Let me just share this with you. I said to them, I hear what you're saying. Like, if we had a plan, then we could solve these trust issues because we would all be moving in the same direction and we would trust each other. I understand their thinking, but it wasn't going to work because remember, strategy does not solve feelings. What solves feelings is navigating the feelings. So I said, hear me out. Let's see if this feels right to you. Let's talk about the trust. Let's rebuild that trust, become connected and excited to do the work, and then from there, create the plan. Remember, the energy by which you create guides and determines the creation. That's what my friend Michelle, my coach Michelle taught me, right? So if whatever energy you create in, that's going to come through in the creation. So if the energy if I'm creating in fear, I create more fear. If I'm creating in possibility and excitement, I'm creating possibility and excitement. So what I wanted to do was to help them heal from whatever happened, and then so that they could trust each other and from there create a plan. The plan wasn't going to make them trust each other. The plan was only going to exacerbate what was already happening, which is what would happen in this specific situation is some people like would not be present, and then decisions would be made, and then those people would be present, and then they would undo everything they did. And like, anyway, they were just going around in circles for a couple of years and they couldn't get themselves out of this. And it kind of caused a lot of mistrust. Sometimes I work with people who are so kind and well-intentioned that it's hard for them to speak the truth. So what I had to teach them first was how to speak the truth in a way that felt okay to them and that other people could hear. And because one of the biggest issues is in nonprofit is we're just so nice and kind and we tend to go along with it. And then, like if we really value peace and want to avoid conflict, then we're going to put peace on that pedestal, and then sooner or later conflict, that peace will fall off and conflict will erupt. So if I can just create a little bit of conflict and learn how to navigate it, the small conflicts, they won't become big conflicts. So how to hash out how they feel about something was really important in order for them to have honest, productive, meaningful conversations so they can actually get with their work. So that's the big line number 3. Plans will help you tackle major issues. They will not. What's going to tackle major issues is facing those issues. And a lot of what I do is I help people. I just set it up and I'm sort of like the neutral third person to help guide people and also teach them the skills so they can do this in the future. So these issues don't become major, right? We can work through them as they come up, and they kind of just disappear. It's a really wonderful way to live, actually. Okay, number 4, plans help us grow. Another big lie. A plan can help you grow, but most of the time it doesn't. Why? Again, because we are not thinking big, we're thinking achievable. We are not pushing the boundaries because we want to be quote unquote successful. We're afraid to fail. And so most of the time, and I'm not saying all the time, I'm not saying this is you specifically, I'm just saying this can happen and I see it happen a lot. Our plans become not about growth, not about bold vision. They become what could we actually accomplish? Because, and this is the biggest trap of lie number 4 is we can only do what we think we have the budget for. And so we have to keep our dreams in line with what we can pay for. How you grow is to set out the big, audacious, hairy vision and say, here's what we need to have that. Let's see how close we can get. Let's see what we can do. I'm not setting my goals based on what I can afford. I'm setting my goals based on what is most important to achieve. What does my community need the most? How can we give that to them? And yes, what's it going to cost? And then go for it. Again, if your plan isn't scaring the crap out of you, it's not a really good plan. And that's why I said number 1 myth was plans bring certainty, because you want to feel uncertain. You want to feel scared. Again, we are trying to change lives, change the world, change industries, change decades of like bad decisions, and help create something new, right? Like help house people who don't have homes, help sick people heal, all of the things that we want to do. This takes some guts. It takes some guts. It takes a bold vision. And sometimes in that bold vision, right, you may not have all the answers. You may not have all the money. Okay, but we know what it's going to take. So our goals are set on what we want to achieve, not what we can afford. That's how you create success. That's how you really create change. If not, it's just status quo every year. You're just filling in the blanks. All right, number 5. Plans help us maintain priorities. This is, I think, is one of my favorites, I have to say. Because we say, okay, a plan is going to keep us on track and it's going to keep our priorities. And this is a big lie of a plan. Again, because it's not about the plan. It's about how we feel about the task that we're set out to do. Example, okay? Here, let's say your task is to raise more money, right? You want to do more major donor individual giving. That's one of your big goals, okay? A plan, okay, so we have it set out that I am going to um, you know, raise this much more money within this year. Let's say I'm going to raise 200,000 additional dollars this year. Okay. How can that help me? How is the plan going to help me maintain that priority? Because a plan will, sure, it'll set that in writing, but what it's going to take to achieve that is you, again, stepping into your discomfort. Are you seeing a theme here? Calling, making it a priority every single day to do the follow-up, to do the real work of relationship building. I don't even like fundraising goals as much because, and I know we need them. I don't even know if we do really, because you put the relationship first and the money will follow. And when we set out fundraising goals, what we're saying is we need people to give us this money. Anytime I put the money before the relationship, that's when fundraising gets weird, you know? Because if I'm making friends with you because you have money, that's manipulative at worst, disingenuous at best. It's not a trusting relationship. But if I'm building a relationship with you because we share a common philanthropic heart, we share a common vision, we want to achieve the same things in the world. Let's see how we can work together to do that. That may be money, that may be other things. That's how I build a community of support because I'm valuing people over the money. And when I value people, they will feel valued and they will invest in me. Relationships first, the money will follow, I swear. And I do think our goals should reflect that. Not that we don't have sales goals, but again, um, I can't say who or when. I can only do the work to create the conditions for success. Um, I can't make somebody do something. I wish I could, but that's not influence, right? And influence, um, like manipulation means when I win, you lose. Or I don't care if you win or not. I just want what I want. Influence means we both win. It's a good deal for both of us, right? You're going to give to a cause you love, and I'm going to be able to do the work that's important. That's a win-win, and that's what it's about. If it's not a win-win, don't do it. And that's how we can shift fundraising. Getting a little off. I'm going to get back. We think if we have a plan, then we're automatically going to start getting very bold about relationship building or about, these major giving. But if it scares the crap out of us, we're not going to do it. Because again, it's not about strategy, it's about feelings. It's about navigating our thoughts and feelings. So if you need to raise a lot of money and you're not sure how you do it, come to me. I will teach you how to do it in a way that's so fun and easy and aligned and respectful and oh my gosh, because it's about the people, not the money. And when you focus on the people, the money follows. 100% it's true. But a plan won't help you maintain priorities. Your ability to to set the conditions for your success, to understand what your resistance is and how your thoughts and feelings are contributing to that, how to change your thoughts and feelings, tell yourself a better story, that will help you maintain your priorities. A plan will, yes, keep it in front of you, but you can push stuff off. I know you know how to do this. Oh, I'll do that next month, next month, next month. Or that was my goal for the year. And we just couldn't get to it because of all this admin stuff or whatever. You'll wind up making excuses for it. The plan will not do it. It will not guarantee that you're going to make those priorities. What does them is your commitment. And sometimes that commitment means stepping into something uncomfortable and doing something very brave and bold. So let's review 5 myths of strategic planning. Plans bring certainty. They don't. There's no such thing as certainty. Our ability to actually embrace uncertainty is what is going to bring us success. Plans ensure success. They don't. They don't. I wish they did, but they don't. What ensures success is big, bold goals, making big, bold goals, and releasing the outcome and seeing what we can create together. Yes, it's okay to have a goal in mind, but also being open. Things might be coming to you in ways you hadn't even planned for. and you want to be open and ready for that. Okay, plans help us with major or help us tackle major issues. They don't, right? Strategy does not shape mindset. The only thing that shapes mindset is actually focusing on the mindset. If you, oh, strategy will not change mindset. It doesn't work that way. It's just a strategy. So if the things, major issues you want to tackle, yes, you can put them in the plan, but that won't make you tackle them. What's going to make you tackle them is actually facing them and taking a lot of time and attention to work through them. Okay, plans help us grow. Now we know that plans hardly don't help us grow because we sometimes become very conservative our plan making so we can achieve so we can achieve it and look successful. The way to grow is to release the outcome, get bold, and make your goals, make your objectives based on the change that you truly want. It doesn't always have to be in the budget. And when we have this obsession with like, well, we have to have we if we can't do it unless we can afford it, we're not going to do anything. I don't think there's very much that was created because somebody could afford it, right? Because you go create the dream and then you go enroll people in it. Okay, and the last one is plans help us maintain priorities. They don't. What maintains our priorities is our devotion to the work. Um, and creating scenarios where we step into our discomfort and we keep those priorities in front of us. A lot of the things I do to maintain priority or to help maintain my priorities are KPIs, right? Key performance indicators, even just things on the wall to remind me. I have all kinds of strategies for maintaining priorities that really, but it's not about the plan. It's about your devotion to that priority. And a plan's not going to give you that. Remember, a plan's a strategy and devotion is a feeling. So if we want to be devoted to it, and then we will maintain those priorities. Because even if they're in a plan, we know we could skirt away from those if we really needed to. All right, I hope that this helps you. Actually, I'm going to rephrase that. Um, I don't hope. I know this will help you rethink your view of strategic planning, what it can do and what it can't do. Yes, have a plan. You know, yes, know where you're going, but also know that if you want to make real change, the plan needs to be bold. It needs to scare you. You might not know exactly how everything's going to work, but you're going to figure it out as you go. And that's okay too. And this is not one of my big myths, but I'm just going to add this really quickly, little bonus content for you is that, sometimes we just want to have it all thought out and all figured out. And you can't. And so we tend to then, like have very conservative or like we have to how are we going to do it? The how will figure itself out because by just pushing and trying things. But if we're so focused on the how, then we're only going to do things we can achieve. And again, status quo. Nothing's really going to change. And if we're not here to make change, what in the world are we doing here? So that's it. That's it for me in this episode and the 5 big myths of strategic planning. If you in this year would love to up level your skills, you're like, there's more in me, in my team. I really want to be a better leader. I want to have more autonomy over my day and my life. I want to be able to ask for big money and do it comfortably. All of those things, if you're like, yes, that's me, book a call with me and let's talk about it. I have programs. I don't really talk about them because they're really by invitation only in a sense of like, I just want to make you're the right fit. I can actually help you. But I'm always, always open to a call. And I'm happy to spend some time with you. Whether or not we work together doesn't really matter. You will leave with some great new strategies, new insight, new tips on how to perform better, how to get more out of yourself and everyone around you so you can move that mission and be the change agent you've always wanted to be. The link is in the show notes, but it's courageouscommunication.com/connect, and you can book some time with me. Love to you. And yeah, Have fun with your strategic planning and remember the lies and remember to tell yourself the truths about what your plan can actually achieve. We'll see you next time on the Influential Nonprofit.